Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on managing security configuration risks with a unified infrastructure automation solution. My name is Shua Mateen, and I'm Senior Product Marketing Manager at Progress Chef, primarily responsible for product marketing initiatives for the security and compliance set of solutions. Moving on to the speakers for today. Along with me, we also have Lokesh, who is a Senior Product Manager at Progress. Lokesh, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, I'm Lokesh and I'm currently working as a senior product manager at Chef. I'm handling Chef compliance product portfolio and I've been with Chef for almost 3 years. Yeah, that's a quick intro about myself. Over to you, Shiva.
Thank you, Lokesh. So let's go through the agenda for today's discussion. Over the course of this presentation, we will cover some of the common security and IT compliance challenges that organizations often face. We will introduce how Chef compliance comes to play. Believe most of you on the call here today use Chef Infra to automate configuration management. We will show you how Chef compliance helps in ensuring that these configurations are compliant, and Lokesh will be doing a short demonstration of a solution. And we will also go through a customer success story, and finally we'll conclude with the Q&A, right? So I believe most of you on this call today are Chef Infra customers and using Chef Infra to configure all your infrastructure assets and using our infrastructure as code approach. While you're managing configurations effectively, there is always a fair chance that you may experience configuration drifts. And that could be many reasons for the drifts. It could be because of these many environments, both on-premise and cloud-based. New devices are constantly added to the network as your business grows. And it's important to ensure that each new device, each resource matches the expected level of configuration. It could also be because of temporary manual changes that are done in the environment. So the reasons are many. However, we understand how critical these misconfiguration risks are, right? And a Microsoft stat says that 80% of ransomware attacks can be traced back to common misconfiguration errors, right? Or common configuration errors. So, and most of the data breaches that we hear about these days in the news, they're all somehow tied to common configuration errors. So, speaking about the challenge, we're all aware that most of you are under tremendous pressure to release innovative solutions to the market. The need for speed to deliver innovation or new code or new business value, it's always at an all-time high, with every organization trying to bring the solution to market very fast, right? And the need for security, the need for compliance, it's just non-negotiable, and which in many cases causes impediments to the ability to deliver with speed, because security reviews, they are typically done at the end of a very long delivery process when most slippages and delays has put the security review under pressure to happen and not delay the delivery of the said solution. Audits take away the valuable productive time that staff have to work on the said innovation, having to concentrate on very manual and many times very cumbersome audit processes. Some companies take 2 months to complete a compliance or a security audit, said it at a recent Chef survey. And even when done appropriately, the current security and compliance efforts or processes, they provide very limited visibility and they hinder collaboration. And all these can cause a lot of risk to your environments, we understand. And one reason for the hindrance to speed and the hindrance to agility may be in the way some of these traditional approaches, they mostly compliance and security reviews are, I mean, kept to the very last stage of this very long development process, right? And this inherently causes a number of problems, a number of issues. So after dev and ops are done with software or environments, they pass them along to security for review. And this is somewhat late step in the process. The security teams have no idea what's in there, so they treat it as a black box. And in order to find out, security teams will have to use tools such as scanners. These scanning tools, they generate a bunch of good data mixed with reams of not so good data and like false positives, etc. So it becomes a huge manual process. And failing to define what is correct upfront means that the cost of the inevitable rework is very high. So by the time you find a security problem in this model, you've already wasted a lot of dev, ops, QA, and release engineering's time, right? And finally, customers, they often have environments that aren't perfectly compliant. And this is what we call the exceptional conditions or the ability to manage exceptions. And that causes further delays. And different teams speak different languages. They have different specific views. They have different tools they use to accomplish their tasks of securing your systems. The compliance officer has a binder full of regulations that need to be followed. And then you have your security team. They might have some scanning tools they use to validate things. And then it's up to the dev and ops teams to actually fix the problems that might be uncovered during audits. And the problem is that since all these teams are using different tools to evaluate things, there's a necessary translation process. There's a need for everybody to speak the same language. So these, as we understand from some of our customers and prospects, are some of the most common security and IT compliance challenges. So while we spoke about the security and compliance challenge and how different teams speak different languages, using a policy as code approach where policies are managed with other application assets as part of your regular SDLC approach, including versioning, check-in, CI/CD, etc. So how infrastructure as code is used to manage configurations, right? The same approach can be extended to manage policies, and the policies, whether it's your security policies, your compliance policies, your dev and application policies, all these policies are managed as code. They're human readable, which facilitates collaboration and eliminates spreadsheets, other manual ways of tracking policy and tracking policy adherence, and where collaboration is optimized across all of these key disciplines, right? We said that they all speak different languages, whether you're app dev, IT, ops, security, and compliance. And even Gartner has justified this fact in one of their latest research reports. They mentioned that by 2026, 70% of enterprises in regulated verticals will have integrated compliance as code into their DevOps tool chains, reducing risk and improving lead time by at least 15%. So that's a testimony to the policy as code and compliance as code approach. So having spoken about the challenges, I'll kind of give a quick overview of chef compliance, how chef compliance comes into play to mitigate compliance risk and solve some of the security and compliance challenges. So chef compliance makes it super easy for you to maintain and enforce compliance across your enterprise. And how do we do this? We have audit and remediation content curated by CIS, and these are stick benchmarks. And this we also help you get visibility and control across your hybrid and multi-cloud environments. And this is the workflow that we follow in chef compliance. It's a 5-stage workflow: acquire, define, monitor, remediate, and report. So in the acquire stage, you can use our out of the box curated content. So we have content from Center for Internet Security and these are sticks, and that is created and maintained by Chef. And so in the define stage, you can actually start with the standard content, or you can customize the policies and apply to your business requirements, right? You can customize it based on how your business needs it. And another functionality is the whole waiver or the skip controls functionality, where some of the controls might not be applicable to your business. You can request for waivers and with giving proper reasons and justification. In the monitor stage, this is where really the value of Chef comes in by automating configuration, by automating control tests and fixing based on the policies. And once you've audited, once you have monitored, you need to remediate if there are any misconfigurations that are identified. Chef helps you in automatically remediating and addressing this drift. And finally, reporting. We have complete single pane of glass reporting that can also be fed into third parties like Splunk, ServiceNow, and more. I mean, Lokesh would be doing a demo of this where you will get a clearer picture of how you can extend your configuration management to with Chef compliance to manage compliance as well. However, I would like to stress upon this remediation piece a bit. So, we not only help you audit the systems and help you find the gaps in it, we also have curated content available for remediation. So, we help you close the loop between audit and remediation to kind of enable continuous compliance in the enterprise. We also allow customization. So, we have pre-packaged remediation content, but we also help you to customize this content so that it can be modified to accommodate your specific needs through code, right? With that, I will hand it over to Lokesh to take us through a short demo of a ship compliance solution. Over to you, Lokesh.
Thanks a lot, Shiva, for highlighting the challenges and pain in ensuring security and compliance of the targets, and also for giving a brief overview about the policy as a code and chef compliance product overview. Now, let's see how an user can audit their assets. So there are two ways where a user can audit their assets. One is like if you are an infra or config management user, you can check the compliance of the code instantaneously by simply enabling the compliance phase and then like running our premium audit content on the target node. The second use case is by running the premium audit profiles from Automate. All right. Now let's see the first use case for setting up the compliance phase and running the audit profile. So as a prerequisite, I have set up the workstation on a Ubuntu machine, and with workstation installed, I can now use like Chef to generate a repository. So this is like a directory where all my Chef content will exist. So and in this case, like my repository is called Chef repo. Now let's see how I generate a Chef repo. As you can see, generating a repo created the main directory and number of subdirectories including cookbooks, data bags, and policy files. So inside the cookbooks directory is an example folder, but I'm going to generate my own cookbook called create user. So this is where my projects files will live. So when I change my create user directory, I can see Chef automatically create a number of files and folders, including recipes. The folder contains the default.rb. Now let us see it all these things in the Visual Studio Code. Just listing it, the recipes. You see default.rb, user.rb, and I'm just going to Visual Studio Code and opening the Chef repo. I'm going to cookbooks. Create user is the cookbook. And there you find the recipes, default.user recipes. So now I'm ready to go ahead and start writing my own cookbook using the Chef language. If you see the default.rb file, it has the default recipe for my cookbook. By including my user recipe here, I ensure it will get run when I assign this cookbook to nodes. In order to ensure that any nodes that will have this cookbook applied will be in compliance, I'm adding an attributes file. That's an important part of compliance phase. I create a new attributes folder and create a default.rb file. In this, I add several entries that essentially link this cookbook to an inspect profile that I'll make uh, in a bit now. And if you notice, it has been pointed to automate reporter, and the feature is from chef server, and the profile is targeted to create user, that is the inspect profile. The one more thing is like from our premium content, you will see a lot of profiles like CentOS Cookbook, Relay, Rail9, Apache, and a lot of cloud related profiles we have. So you just need to point that audit profile here, like admin slash create user. Similarly, you have to point the profile where that profile exists. And second thing, if you want to enable the compliance phase, or if you want to enable the complaints during the config management of your node, you have to set this attribute default audit compliance phase equal to true. If you set it as false, then compliance phase won't be enabled. So that's a critical step in this audit process. Now I set all the compliance phase reporters and profiles. So the next step is I'm going to I have checked on the cook style aspects. No offenses are detected. So the next step is to upload the cookbook. I'm now ready to upload the cookbook to my chef infrastructure server. I move back to cookbooks directory and then run knife cookbook upload create user, the name of my specific cookbook, the information in my credential file, enable the interaction between my workstation and the automate server. So when I now switch over to automate dashboard and navigate to my chef server and organization, I can see my create user cookbook is there. If I click on it, I can see all the file I just created, including my attribute file and my two recipe files. All right. I have already bootstrapped 3 nodes: Linux node, Raspberry node, and Windows node. When I run the knife node list command, my chef infrastructure server report backs the 3 nodes that are connected and available. Now I'm planning to assign my create user cookbook to each node by using the knife node run list add command. So I'm going to do this for 3 nodes. Yeah, this I'm going to do it for Windows 10, and similarly we have to do it for 3 nodes. So when I switch over to automate dashboard view, I can see that my nodes are visible along with all the information, like Windows 10. To take advantage of chef complaints, I'm now going to create an inspector profile and upload to my API token under settings. So I'm going to give the name admin and assigning the administrative policy to it. Before I leave, I'm copying the token to use in the later step. I've copied the token. So back on my workstation, I change into my chef report directory and create profiles directory, where I will store all the profiles I create, including the one I'm about to make for my create user project. So inspect init profile, create user. Will create the create user project. So chef inspect creates a directory structure and files for my profile. To keep things organized, I rename the profile control from my default to user. Then I start writing my own control. So I'm going to controls default.rb and I'm going to rename it. And then I'm going to create my own control. like control, create user, do, and then with impact 1.0, and then give a title, description, and check whether that user exists or not. So this is an inspect control we are planning to invoke. Next, I'm going to edit my inspect YAML, giving the name and title. It is important that this title matches exactly with what I put in the cookbook attributes file. So I add my maintainer information and the version and save it before uploading to my Chef infrastructure server. To do that, I allow inspect to log into my Chef infrastructure by issuing inspect complaints login command with the URL name of my server, which matches with the name I gave in the token, and pass all the token credentials. And then I'm going to use inspect complaints upload to upload my create user profile. So if you have purchased our premium content, you can use the RHEL 9 profile or CentOS profile or Ubuntu profile or any Windows related profiles or Apache or Postgres, MongoDB related profile, and you can just upload the profiles and trigger the audit for the nodes, target nodes. It's saying uploading to Chef Automate. Now coming to Automate, I'm going to complaints, going to profiles, click, and if you see like the user Tonlo exist, this is the profile we have created, and the control name is create user control. Yeah. So if you upload a RHEL 9 OS profile or Ubuntu OS profiles, it will be available in the profile tab. And if you click that particular profile, you will see all the list of controls. This is how an complaints audit profile will look like. So with the cookbooks, recipes, attributes, and profile all in place, I can see the chef complaints phase in action by simply running chef client on each of my nodes. There are many ways to do this, but for this example, I'm logging into my node and running chef client from the command line. And I also executed chef client in PowerShell on Windows node. So after the client runs, I can see the CLI reporter showing each node in complaint state. Yes, it is. So in the automate dashboard, checking on the Ubuntu node, chef client is compliant. Now I'm going to automate dashboard. I can see my three nodes are compliant. Your system is compliant. The nodes is 3. Yeah. 3 nodes, Windows, Ubuntu, and Raspberry Pi. And the profile name is user exists, and the control name is create user. That's it. So we have seen a use case to enable compliance phase and run an inspect control. Similarly, we can also run our premium audit content with the compliance phase. Now let's see another use case of running an audit profile directly from Automate and also fetching the remediation cookbook from the seamless content email which you have received. And then by applying remediation cookbook, you will see like your pass percentages increasing on a tremendous base. So let's see how that uh, getting an audit profile from Automate works and applying the remediation. So here I have planned a plan to show a pre-recorded demo of running an audit and remediation content on Ubuntu 20 platform. So I have set up a node in AWS with respect to Ubuntu 20 OS. And then if you see like it has been set up at AWS Ubuntu. Um, and if you see, and I'm planning to fetch that Ubuntu 20 profiles in compliance tab. I'm going to compliance and profiles. It is going to, so we are planning to fetch the Ubuntu 20 profile from the like 639 available content, just searching with Ubuntu. And yeah, so Ubuntu 20, I'm going to get it. So once you fetch the profile, then our next job is to create a scan job to do an audit. So go to scan job and add a target node. So the target node is the one which I've added in Ubuntu in AWS. I'm just getting those details and adding it in the automate. And then I'm just setting the name as AWS Ubuntu. I'm just checking whether the node is in reachable status or not. Yeah, it's in reachable status. Now you are ready to run an audit on that node. So in automate, we have to add that node, and then I'm just adding the profile which we have downloaded from the available profiles Ubuntu, and I'm just naming the scan job before remediation scan. It is in running state. Yeah. So now it is completed, meaning like we have audited the AWS Ubuntu node, and we are just going to see the reports. And reports, if you see like there are 200 failed total controls and 86 failed controls and 100 controls are passed. So etc. And let's deep dive on one control with respect to R6 service. And if you look at the source code, um, it should not be installed. The rsync package should not be installed. So we have written based on the package a resource, inspect resource, and it should not be installed. And I'm just going to check by doing the SSH with that AWS node and check whether the rsync package is not there or not. If you do rsync hyphen version, it says rsync version is there. So according to CS benchmarks, it should not be there. That's the reason it is getting failed. And now you have to so now the next step is like you understood on the list of controls which is getting failed. So the next step is uh, to run a remediation content on the Ubuntu 20 platform. So in order to do a remediation on the Ubuntu 20 platform, you need to have a remediation cookbooks. So in the last quarter, we have launched the seamless content delivery mechanism. So with this mechanism, you will be getting the set of audit content and remediation content via email. So once you have the set of cookbooks in email, you have to download the cookbooks, like whichever cookbooks you need to run. Like in this case, you have to pick Ubuntu 20 remediation cookbooks, and you have to download, and then you have to upload into the server, and you have to trigger the remediation. So that's the process here. So I'm going to download the Ubuntu 20 remediation cookbook here. So these are the list of remediation cookbooks available from our Chef Compliance Premium content. Just searching. Yeah, there it is. And I'm just going to click on download. Yeah, it's downloaded, and I'm just checking whether it has recipes and metadata required in that remediation cookbooks. I'm just logging into remediation. Yes, it is there. Remediation CS Ubuntu, and then I have to get into remediation folder. CS Ubuntu 20 folder. Yeah, you have like metadata and recipes inside that folder. And then you have to use the command knife cookbook upload um, command to upload the remediation content into the chef server from your desktop. Yes, the cookbook has been uploaded to the server successfully. Yeah, you can see like the cookbook has been created successfully in the automate platform also. You can verify the it has been uploaded. And then I'm going to check what is the AWS Ubuntu node by running knife node list. And then I'm going to add to run list the remediation cookbook to this node by using knife node run list add node name recipe and remediation cookbook name. This is the command. Yes, it has been added successfully. The recipe has been added successfully. The next step is I have to log into the AWS Ubuntu and then I have to run sudo chef client to trigger the remediation cookbook on the target node. So I'm doing SSH, the target node. I'm going to run sudo chef client. Yeah. Yeah, now the remediation is getting started. And it's, yeah, if you see remediation has been done successfully. It has taken 2 minutes and 43 seconds. Now, once the remediation is done, the next step is to go to the compliance tab and we have to verify the fail controls like getting passed. Meaning in this case, a particular case, we have looked into it like RSIC control is getting passed or not. So again, so once the remediation is done, we have to do another scan job or another audit to check or to verify the fail controls, like it's getting passed or not. So I'm going to compliance tab and I'm going to create another scan job, like after remediation scan. I'm integrating the node and adding the Ubuntu profile, and I'm going to put a name like after remediation scan, and it's right now running it. Yeah, it's completed. The scan is completed. Now let's click on the report to see the pass controls and fail controls. If you see like, yeah, now you see like the earlier the pass controls were like 100 controls were passed in the previous run. And in the after remediation scan, if you see like it is 135 controls are getting passed. And let's look at the rsync one. So the rsync one is like the packages should not be installed. Now let's verify in the target node and just doing SSH and see whether rsync package is removed or not. Rsync hyphen version. See, it has been removed now. Yeah, this control has been remediated right now. All right. On a final note to conclude the demo, you need to have like an appropriate system hardening policies and the systems to frequently audit your infra with our premium audit content, and also to enforce appropriate remediation controls by using our remediation cookbooks. This will ensure like a continuous remediation processes in place. So by having like system hardening, having frequent audits, and having continuous remediations in place, you can ensure like the mitigation risk would be like getting drastically reduced, and you can have like a have like a safe set of compliance journey in your set of infrastructure. All right. Now we have seen the demo to do an audit and to do remediation on your target node. Now let's see a couple of customer testimonials. So the first one is with Shubhak Phillips. So the Shubhak Phillips is a company it's like an IT services and software company based out of Netherlands. They used to provide software services for financial institutions, retail, energy, and healthcare related clients. So they approach Chef with the problem of maintaining complaints manually, and this process was impacting their release cadence and release cycle on a heavily, meaning they have like a prolonged release cycle. So the primary use case here is related to premium content, and they were requesting content in terms of CIS Windows 2019, CIS CentOS 7, CIS Ubuntu 20, and Alma Lex related content. And we have shared all this content to Shubhag last year. And with the help of chef complaints and premium content, Shubhag Fleece can easily use our content, and they can also customize the profile, tuning to other standards as well. And if you note, with this automated continuous complaints approach, and with our chef complaints as a product base, they can quickly validate their complaints requirements, and they can also mitigate this misconfiguration in their system significantly. And also with their shift left approach, meaning taking security first approach, they quickly identify and fix security issues quickly. So which in turn increase their speed and efficiency in their release cycle. All right, this is about the customer story of Shubhak Phyllis. Now let's see at one of the customer testimonial with Tesco. Tesco reached out to Chef. So Tesco had 10K plus node and workloads in their infra. So they had a challenge of updating, maintaining, and their systems. Um, and they also had a challenge in adhering to different or wide variety of compliance standards across their infrastructure. So with the help of our Chef compliance and Chef infra product lines, they managed to tackle all the challenges of updating their systems and having appropriate compliance in on their nodes immediately. And especially with the help of the audit and remediation premium content Windows 2016, Windows 2019, RHEL 7, RHEL 8, and CentOS related profiles, they have significantly reduced their risk of misconfigurations in their system, as well as they had ensured tight compliance in their infra. So yeah, so this is about the customer testimonial.
Thank you, Lokesh, for taking our attendees through the compliance demo. We are hoping that the presentation and demo was helpful. So we would like to summarize some of the key takeaways for you. So you saw how easy it is for you to extend the work that you've done configuring systems to check for compliance continuously. Prepackaged policy templates provide a quick starting point if you need to tailor. It provides us a quick starting point, and if you need to tailor to suit your business, you may quickly do so. We take the same approach for protecting your on-premise resources, and the same thing can be used for cloud-native assets as well, whether it's your Kubernetes to public cloud services across Azure, AWS, etc. You can get fast audits by maintaining up-to-date visibility into compliance results, and you can easily report and share the audit results. with continuous compliance and continuous remediation, you can identify and eliminate any compliance risk. You can get faster time to value by tuning compliance profiles to address your organization's specific requirements, and you can also get increased flexibility. Right, you can write custom code based on your specific requirements, and you can only check for the environment that is needed. So, having spoken about chef compliance, what next? We would encourage you to take a look at our data sheet, and we would also be happy to give a detailed, personalized demo of a solution and how it can help solve your IT compliance challenges. And with that, that brings me to the end of the presentation, and let's move on to Q&A.
Right. Hope you have enjoyed this session and demo. Now it's time for Q&A. So please post your Q&A in the chat button. I
Yeah,
see some.
Lokesh. So we actually have some questions coming in.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, one question is how can we get access to the premium content that you were talking about? Lokesh, is that something you'll be able to answer?
yeah, sure. So with respect to premium content, there is like audit content and remediation content. So we are sharing both audit and remediation content via seamless content email. So if you are entitled for audit and remediation, you'll be getting both this content via email. In case if you're not getting the email, so please reach out to our support team. They will be able to assist you on this need.
And there's another question. What is the cost of the premium content?
Cost of the premium content, it depends on the node. Probably you can drop a note to our sales team. They can get in touch with you and share the cost of it.
We have another question. Will the copy of this webinar be available for viewing later? Yes, it will be available. We'll share the recording of this webinar with all the registration people who registered for the webinar. We will do that. Will the video be available after this meeting? Yes, we will send a recording of this webinar, and it will also be available on our website. The recording will also be available on our website, and we will email it to the registered attendees as well. We have another question. Is the same compliance solution used to scan both on-prem and cloud and container environments?
Yeah, that's an interesting. Yeah. So uh, So the underlying scan engine is like Inspect tool. So Inspect is a scan engine we are using. So customers are using to scan both on-prem and cloud and container environments. But for cloud and container environment, there is like additional entitlement you have to purchase for it. So if you are entitled for cloud and container related content, yeah, definitely you'll be able to scan it.
Okay, thank you, Lokesh. I think that's all the questions that we had. If you have any further questions, you can please reach out to us. And that brings us to the end of the webinar. Hope the session was informative to you, and we really appreciate you taking time out to attend the webinar today, and hope you have a good rest of the day. Thank you.